My beloved child, come closer and rest your heart for a moment. I know today feels heavy. I know the silence feels louder than any argument, and the distance feels crueler than words ever could. I know the loss has left a hollow space inside you, a space you keep touching again and again, hoping it will somehow feel different this time. You keep asking why it had to end like this, why love slipped through your fingers, why what once felt so sure now feels so far away. Hear me clearly now. This breakup, this distance, this loss is not punishment. It is direction. It is not rejection, it is redirection. It is not the end of your story, it is me guiding you where your heart could not see on its own. I saw what you could not. I heard the prayers you whispered, and the ones you were too tired to say. I saw how much you gave, how much you waited, how much you hoped things would change if you just tried a little harder, loved a little deeper, stayed a little longer. I saw how you were shrinking parts of yourself just to keep something alive that was quietly draining you. I saw the tears you wiped away in secret, and the strength you pretended to have when you were already exhausted. And because I love you, I stepped in. If these words are touching the ache you've been carrying, if your heart feels seen instead of blamed, pause here for a moment. Type Amen 529. You think the separation means you were not enough. You think the distance proves you failed. You think the loss means you are unlovable or forgotten. That is not my voice. That is fear speaking. That is pain trying to explain something it does not understand. If you were truly abandoned, I would not still be holding you right now. If this were destruction, you would feel emptier than you do. Instead, even in your grief, there is a strange pull forward, a quiet whisper that says, there has to be more than this. That whisper is me. Sometimes I remove people not because they are bad, but because they are not meant to walk with you into the next season. Sometimes I create distance not to hurt you, but to protect what is forming inside you. Sometimes I allow loss, because if you stayed, you would have lost yourself completely. I will never take something away, without already preparing something deeper, stronger, and more aligned with who you truly are becoming. You wanted answers. I gave you clarity. You wanted reassurance. I gave you truth. You wanted comfort. I gave you freedom. But because it did not arrive wrapped the way you expected, you called it pain instead of purpose. You called it an ending instead of alignment. You called it heartbreak instead of breakthrough. Look at how much you have grown already. Look at how your eyes are opening to patterns you once ignored. Look at how your heart is learning what it will no longer tolerate. Look at how your soul is remembering its worth. This is not accidental. This is healing in motion. This is me undoing what was holding you back, so I can rebuild you stronger than before. I know you miss what was. I know you miss the voice, the routines, the shared dreams, the version of the future you had already pictured in your mind. Grief does not mean you made a mistake. Grief means you loved deeply, and I honor that love. I never ask you to regret loving. I only ask you not to chain yourself to something that cannot grow with you anymore. You keep replaying the last conversations, wondering what you could have said differently, what you could have done better. Release that burden. If it were meant to stay, it would not have required you to betray your peace. If it were meant to last, it would not have demanded you silence your needs. If it were from me, it would have drawn you closer to who you are, not farther away. This distance you feel now is creating space, space for healing, space for clarity, space for the kind of love that does not confuse you or keep you guessing. Space for joy that does not come with anxiety attached. Space for purpose that does not require constant sacrifice of your soul. I am not emptying your life. I am preparing it. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not broken. You are being realigned. What feels like loss is actually precision. What feels like collapse is actually correction. I am moving you away from what was comfortable but limiting, and toward what is unfamiliar but freeing. Trust me when I say this. If I allowed it to leave, it could not go where I am taking you. If I allowed the door to close, it was because what was on the other side no longer matched the person you are becoming. I am far more invested in your future than in your nostalgia. You may not understand now why it had to hurt this much. But one day, you will look back and thank me for not letting you stay where you were settling. One day, you will realize that the version of you who stayed would never have met the life I am preparing for you. One day, you will see that what you called heartbreak was actually the moment you chose yourself, even if it didn't feel like a choice at the time. Let yourself grieve, but do not let grief convince you that I am absent. I am closest to you in this season. I am teaching you to hear me without the noise of someone else's expectations. I am teaching you to trust me without leaning on another person for validation. I am teaching you to stand whole, not half-attached, not afraid of being alone. You do not need to chase what walked away. You do not need to beg what could not stay. You do not need to explain yourself to someone who could not see your value. If your heart feels held instead of hopeless right now, let that be your sign. Type Amen 781. I will never ask you to fight for what I have already released. Rest now. Breathe. Let the tears fall if they need to, but do not confuse this moment with your destiny. This is a turning point, not a dead end. This is alignment, not abandonment. This is direction guided by a love that sees far beyond your current pain. My beloved child, stay with me a little longer. I know when the pain quiets for a moment, your mind rushes back in with questions. You wonder how long this season will last, whether the emptiness will ever fully leave, whether your heart will ever feel safe again. Let me answer you gently. This season is not endless. It is intentional. It has a purpose, and it is already working for your good, even on the days you feel like nothing is happening right now. If your heart feels tired but comforted at the same time, if something inside you is still listening, pause here with me. Type Amen 684. I am teaching you how strong you truly are without leaning on what once held you up. I am teaching you that your worth was never tied to someone choosing you, staying with you, or understanding you. Your worth comes from me, and it has never changed. Not on the day they loved you. Not on the day they left. Not on the days you doubt yourself the most. You think you lost something precious. But listen carefully. What you lost was not meant to be your source. What you lost was not meant to define you. What you lost was not meant to complete you. I am your source. I am your completeness, and I am closer than ever now that the distractions have fallen away. I know the nights are the hardest. When the world goes quiet, the memories get loud. When there is no one to text, no familiar voice to comfort you, no routine to lean on, those nights feel unbearable because they force you to face what you have been avoiding, your own heart. But even there, especially there, I am with you. I sit with you in the silence. I count every tear. I hold you when no one else can. This distance you feel from others is drawing you closer to me. And the closer you come, the more you will begin to see clearly. You will see why certain things never felt settled. You will see why you were always the one carrying the emotional weight. You will see how often you compromised your peace just to keep connection. I am not exposing these truths to hurt you. I am revealing them to heal you. You are learning discernment now. You are learning boundaries now. You are learning the difference between love and attachment, between effort and self-abandonment, between patience and self-betrayal. These lessons are priceless. They will protect you in ways you cannot imagine yet. Do not rush this process. Do not try to replace what was lost just to escape the loneliness. Do not reopen doors I have closed just because the silence feels uncomfortable. Comfort is not always confirmation. Sometimes discomfort is the sign that growth is happening. I know you fear being alone forever. That fear is understandable, but it is not prophetic. It is not truth. This season of solitude is not a sentence. It is preparation. I am strengthening you so that when love comes again, it will not break you, confuse you, or cost you your identity. You will recognize what is healthy, because you will no longer tolerate what is not. You are not missing out while you heal. You are being positioned. You are being refined. You are being aligned. Every day you choose not to go back to what hurt you, you step closer to the life I have been shaping for you behind the scenes. I know part of you still hopes they will realize what they lost, come back changed, say the words you always waited to hear. Release that hope into my hands. Not because it makes you weak, but because holding on to it is keeping you from fully receiving what I want to give you next. What is meant for you will not require you to wait in uncertainty, or prove your worth. Trust me when I say I am not delaying your happiness. I am protecting it. I am not denying you love. I am redefining it. I am not breaking your heart without purpose. I am freeing it so it can beat without fear. Stay open. Stay gentle with yourself. Stay close to me. This chapter is not about what you lost. It is about who you are becoming. And who you are becoming is stronger, wiser, calmer, and more deeply rooted than you have ever been before. I am with you. I am guiding you, and I will lead you into a future that makes sense of this pain. One day, my beloved child, let me speak to the part of you that still looks back even when you are trying to move forward. I know you tell yourself you are okay, that you are healing, that you are letting go. But there are moments when your heart suddenly tightens. When a memory appears without warning, when a song, a place, or a simple thought pulls you back into what was. Do not be ashamed of that. Healing is not forgetting. Healing is learning how to breathe even when the memory passes through. I am not disappointed in you for missing what you lost. I am not upset that you still care. Love does not disappear just because a season ends. But I do not want you to confuse remembrance with return. You can honor what was, without going back to what broke you. You can cherish the good, without reopening wounds that took so long to close. If your heart feels a little steadier right now, if the pain feels held instead of sharp, let that be enough for today. Type Amen 957. Right now. I am teaching your heart how to feel without attaching itself to pain. I am teaching you how to love without losing yourself. I am teaching you how to stand steady, even when the ground beneath you once shifted. These lessons are slow, because they are deep. They are quiet, because they are lasting. You keep asking me for a sign that you are on the right path. Let me remind you of this. Peace does not always feel loud at first. Sometimes peace feels unfamiliar. Sometimes peace feels empty, because chaos used to fill that space. Sometimes peace feels boring, because your nervous system was used to uncertainty. But peace is not absence. It is safety. And I am guiding you into safety. If your heart feels unsure but calmer, if something inside you knows this is different, pause here with me. Type Amen 364. You are not weak for feeling tired. You are not faithless for feeling unsure. Even now, as you question, as you grieve, as you slowly rebuild, you are still walking with me. Faith is not always confidence. Sometimes faith is simply choosing not to go back, even when it would be easier to return to what is familiar. I know there are moments when you feel invisible. When you wonder if anyone truly sees the effort it takes for you to keep going. Let me tell you something you need to hear. I see you. I see the restraint it takes not to reach out. I see the courage it takes to sit with your emotions instead of numbing them. I see the strength it takes to trust me, when your heart still aches. Nothing you are doing in this season is wasted. This separation has given you something priceless. Clarity. You can see now what you once tried to excuse. You can feel now what you once tried to ignore. You can admit now what your heart always knew, but your hope refused to accept. This clarity is not cruelty. It is kindness. It is me loving you enough to show you the truth, so you do not repeat the same pain in a different form. You are not being hardened. You are being refined. You are not closing your heart. You are learning discernment. There is a difference. I am not turning you cold. I am teaching you wisdom. And wisdom will protect the tenderness I placed inside you. Do not measure your progress by how little you feel. Measure it by how often you choose peace over panic, truth over fantasy, growth over comfort. Every time you resist the urge to chase what cannot meet you, you are honoring yourself. Every time you trust me instead of your fear, you are stepping into freedom. I know the future feels unclear right now. I know you want certainty, timelines, guarantees. But if I showed you everything at once, you would try to control what must unfold naturally. Trust requires space. Growth requires time. Love requires alignment. I am arranging all three. Be patient with yourself. Speak kindly to your heart. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be, to become who you are meant to be. And I promise you this, the day will come when you will look back at this season, not with regret, but with gratitude. You will see that what felt like loss was actually the moment your life began to align with truth. My beloved child, let me speak now to the fear you haven't named out loud. The fear that if you fully let go, nothing better will come. The fear that this pain might be all there is. The fear that you opened your heart once, and it cost you so much, that you wonder if it was worth it. I know that fear. I see how it hides beneath your strength. And I want you to hear me clearly. Your story does not peak in pain. Your life does not end at loss. This chapter is not the climax. It is the turning. You are not empty because something left. You are empty because something new needs space to arrive. I do not waste space. When I clear something from your life, it is because I intend to fill it with something more aligned, more peaceful, more whole. I am not asking you to live without love. I am teaching you how to receive love, without fear. Right now, you are learning how to trust again. Not another person first, but me. You are learning that even when things fall apart, you are still held. Even when plans dissolve, purpose remains. Even when people change, my love does not. This trust will become the foundation for everything that comes next. I know you are tempted to look at others and wonder why their lives seem easier, why their relationships appear intact, while yours feels shattered. Do not measure your journey by what you see on the surface. Some storms are loud, some are silent. Some people stay in places I have already rescued you from. What looks like stability is sometimes just fear of change. What looks like happiness is sometimes just avoidance. I am not interested in keeping you comfortable, if it costs you your future. You are being trained in emotional maturity now. You are learning how to sit with discomfort, without escaping. You are learning how to feel deeply, without losing control. You are learning how to stand alone, without feeling abandoned. These are not small lessons. These are the very qualities that will allow you to recognize, and sustain, healthy love when it comes. If your heart feels steadier than when you started, if peace feels closer than fear, let that be enough for today. Type Amen 905. Do not rush yourself into becoming who you think you should be by now. Becoming takes time. Healing unfolds in layers. Some days you will feel strong and hopeful, other days you will feel tired and uncertain. Both are part of the process. Progress is not linear, and neither is faith. But every step you take forward, even the shaky ones. I am with you. You keep asking me to take the pain away. Sometimes I do. Other times I transform it. Pain that is faced becomes wisdom. Pain that is surrendered becomes strength. Pain that is trusted to me becomes purpose. I am not leaving you wounded. I am shaping you into someone who can love deeply, without bleeding endlessly. If your heart feels tired but still willing to trust, if something inside you knows these words are true, pause here with me. Type Amen 612. You will not always feel this tender. The ache will soften. The memories will lose their grip. The questions will quiet, and one day, without realizing it at first, you will wake up and feel lighter. Not because you forgot, but because you healed. Not because the past disappeared, but because it no longer controls you. When love finds you again, and it will feel different. It will feel calm instead of chaotic, secure instead of uncertain, mutual instead of one-sided. You will not have to chase clarity or beg for consistency. You will not have to shrink or overgive to keep it alive. You will recognize it because it will not pull you away from me, it will walk with you toward me. Until that day, let me be enough. Let my presence fill the spaces that once felt unbearable. Let my truth silence the lies that pain whispers late at night. You are not unwanted. You are not forgotten. You are not too much. You are deeply loved, intentionally guided, and carefully protected. This season is shaping your future more than you realize. Stay open. Stay soft. Stay trusting. I am leading you out of survival, and into peace. My beloved child, let me close this season of words by placing peace where the ache has been living. I know you are tired now, not just in your body, but in your soul. Tired of being strong. Tired of understanding. Tired of carrying hope and disappointment at the same time. Come rest in me. You do not have to figure everything out tonight. You do not have to heal all at once. You only have to hear me say, you did your best with the heart you had at the time. There is no shame in that. There is no failure in loving deeply. There is only growth. And growth often looks like endings, before it looks like beginnings. You were never meant to beg for love. You were never meant to chase consistency. You were never meant to question your worth just to keep someone close. If walking away was required for you to find peace, then walking away was holy. If losing them was necessary for you to find yourself again, then the loss was sacred. I do not waste pain. I redeem it. One day you will no longer romanticize what hurt you. You will no longer wonder if you imagined the red flags. You will no longer feel guilty for choosing yourself. You will thank me, not because it was easy, but because it saved you from a future where you would have kept settling for less than what your heart deserved. What is coming will not arrive in chaos. It will not confuse you. It will not demand that you betray yourself to be chosen. It will meet you where you are whole, not where you are wounded. It will honor your boundaries, your voice, your growth. And when it comes, you will understand why I asked you to let go. Until then, walk gently. Speak kindly to yourself. Do not rush the quiet. The quiet is healing you. The stillness is restoring you. The space is teaching you who you are without the weight of expectations. You are not alone in this. I have been with you in every tear, every sleepless night, every moment you thought you wouldn't make it through. You are still here because I am still holding you. And I will continue to guide you, step by step, breath by breath, into a life that feels peaceful, aligned, and true. Let go now, not in fear, but in trust. What you released had served its purpose. What awaits you will meet you with clarity and love. I am with you always. If your heart feels calmer than when you began, type Amen 903.